What if you had a really easy to follow formula so that clients could just come to you rather than you feeling like you're always selling, 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 selling out there? The two people that I'm featuring today, one is our superhuman guest. Her name is Caitlin Locasio King, and she made a mark in her industry as a lawyer and then figured out how to meld it with social media. I can't wait for you to hear that entire interview, especially because as a superhuman herself, she's not just building a practice, she's also the mom of 4 kids and has been dealing with something that a lot of us have been touched by, the possibility of having cancer and the radical decision that she made to save her own life to be able to be there for her family for many years to come. You're going to hear all of that story inside the interview we're about to show you with Caitlin Locasio King. And in in prepping for how to record this intro for that interview, I ran into something that she said that just is it's so beautifully and serendipitously I could see working on me today, the day that I'm recording this, which was this concept that if you want to sell on social media, which is something that Caitlin knows all about, you really got to focus on sharing and not selling. And when I saw that, I felt the need to tell you about this amazing individual that I have been following for 2 years. Her name is Maureen Evelyn. And I have been following her for a couple of years because we met on TikTok. That was at a time when I wanted to really figure out how to use TikTok, and I was taking a course about it. So I found Maureen and I found her account, which was at the time pretty small. But there was something about Maureen in that she seemed to have this relentless drive. I noticed that right off the bat, but her account was really small. She was 18 years old at the time, but definitely like way mature beyond her years, right? I felt like I was talking to a peer. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I was not 18 when we met. And she and I had some great conversations. And recently, I found a couple of little beauty artifacts that she sent me to help me with my eyelashes, to help me with my skin. And I remember the vibe that she was on. At the time, she was living in Canada on a farm. And anyway, this was somebody to watch. This was somebody that I have had the immense pleasure of watching grow over the past 2 years. And just this week, I saw a post by her that she's doing her first solo travel to the UK. And she's in London right now. And she's recording amazing videos and just sharing what life as an entrepreneur is like now for her. She's gone from her tiny little TikTok account when she was 18 to 111,000 followers since then. And she's talking all about social media and how to market yourself. So I sent her a message today because yes, I've been following her, I've been seeing her growth, and I've been fascinated by it. She recently coined this method for really embracing rejection. Embracing rejection. She has a whole rejection method. She got waitlisted at Harvard University because she just decided to try it just to get rejected from Harvard. Turns out she didn't get rejected. She got waitlisted. So she shares this methodology that she has, this philosophy of the world that you just need to put yourself out there. And her content is incredible. I am leaving her link below in the show notes so that you can check it out. And I sent her a message today because I noticed that even though she was traveling solo, I noticed that somebody else was recording her B-roll. So I sent her a message. I'm like, hey, who are you traveling with? She's like, I brought my assistant with me. And I'm like, that is brilliant. I really wish I could bring my assistant everywhere. I wish I had my assistant in my pocket. I'm about to fly out to Texas to meet up with some clients, and I wish I could bring my assistant with me. And in the very first voice note that she left me, she said, oh, I this is my first trip to the UK. I can't believe that we've been in touch for 2 years. I was living in Canada at the time. Now I'm living in Arizona. We're like catching up. But one of the first messages that she sent me was, this is what I was doing then, and this is what I'm doing now. And that sparked my interest immediately because I have seen her grow so much. When she told me that she now does social media for clients, it made me think maybe I need a little bit of that. So I asked her if I can get on her calendar. I'm like, maybe we should talk about this. And she's like, yeah, we don't have to wait. I can send you my calendar link. I'm like, okay, great. Let's do it. So I'm going to put myself on her calendar for the next few weeks. And maybe this is somebody that can actually help me grow my business in 2025. And I just wanted to come in and say that I was the one knocking on her door because I loved what she was doing. She wasn't out there selling this to me. She wasn't out there just like telling me everything that she does for clients every day on social media. All she did was just share how her life has changed, what her methodology is, what's the impact that she's having on clients. All she's doing is sharing. And it kept me interested for long enough that I ultimately ended up knocking on her door to see if there's any way that we can work together. So how does that happen? How do you get somebody from just watching passively for a couple years, right? Somebody who even saw you in the beginning, somebody who saw that you were not born yesterday with 111,000 followers. How do you go from that to somebody just wanting to work with you? And that is through the power of shelling and not selling. And that is something that I totally admire in Maureen. You need to go follow her now. I'm putting the link below. And this is something that sparked because Caitlin Locasio King, this lawyer turned social media tycoon, mentioned in this interview, because I'm going to tell you something about Caitlin. She can grow followings on accounts like she's ringing a bell. So I want to, without further ado, tell you that happened with Maureen because of exactly what Caitlin reaches. So I need you to listen to this interview and listen with open eyes and open ears about how she does this and how her journey got her there. So it is my pleasure to introduce you to Caitlin Locasio King. As the founder of Modern Marketing Legal and Magenta Fusion Brandworks, Caitlin Locasio King is about helping legal professionals navigate the ever-evolving landscape of branding, social media, and digital marketing. With a legal career spanning over a decade, Caitlin is an attorney admitted to practice in both the state of Maine and the United States District Court, District of Maine. She works with individuals and families to plan for their futures and small businesses to improve their bottom lines. Through her journey, Caitlin noticed a compelling intersection between law and modern digital marketing, which led to conversations with fellow attorneys who were intrigued but apprehensive about the process. So she started melding the two worlds and dedicated herself to shaping the digital future of lawyers and law firms. And Caitlin lives in Maine, which is close to me in Boston, so I get to see her whenever I want. And without further ado, Caitlin is my biz bestie, and now she's about to become yours. If you're watching this on YouTube, all you have to do is click right here to go watch the full interview. And if you're listening on the podcast, this episode begins now.